world. The bronze to Alexis Glick of Fox Business Network, talking about the startling unlikelihood of a potential business partnership between baseball's Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. That would be like watching the New York Times and the Boston Globe get together, Glick gushed. Yeah, about that. The Times bought the Globe in 1993. Also, the Times owns a minority share in the Boston Red Sox. You know, Ms. Glick, you could keep on top of this stuff if you watched CNBC for like half an hour or so a day. The silver to Brit Hume of Fixed News, explaining why he hired one of the channel's, quote, reporters, unquote. This woman who was strikingly attractive but has tremendous air presence, a very strong voice. She seemed to get what we've been talking about fair and balanced news. She came in believing there was a left bias in the news. Wait, so you're saying you hired somebody based on their pre-existing belief that there was a bias in the news? Isn't that in and of itself bias? So then you put her on the news, creating right-wing bias in the news? But our winner, Rob Sherman, the atheist activist who was shouted at by Illinois State Representative Monique Davis, the guy whose philosophy of atheism Davis thought was too dangerous for kids to even know about. That put Representative Davis on this list. Sherman said she later apologized. It turns out that in the interim, Mr. Sherman criticized Ms. Davis on his website using a term he somehow thought described the history of African-American equal rights protests. Mr. Sherman wrote, quote, "Now that Negroes like Representative Monique Davis have political power, it seems that they have no problem at all with discrimination, just as long as it isn't them who are being discriminated against." He tells the Chicago Tribune that's what the group was called when they were being discriminated against. Same interaction, apologies required on both ends. Representative Davis has made hers. It's time for you, Mr. Sherman. Rob Sherman, today's worst person in the world.